Oh my god, it's Uncle Howdy, the creepiest uncle in the world. So people are asking, who's behind the mask? Is it Bo Dallas? I think it's just Bray Wyatt. Unless WWE are doing it intentionally, it does sound exactly like Bray Wyatt.
You remember when you were a kid, Uncle Howdy used to give you a bath?
It's really gonna be hard to get behind that gimmick. But people, he's back. We can all agree that this week's Monday Night Raw was a lackluster, right? But Triple H took my notes. And people say whatever you want about this episode of SmackDown. This was the greatest WWE segment of 2022, hands down. Comedy in wrestling can be really bad, very generic. It sucks most of the time. Now, as a huge fan of comedy, I can say this was honestly hilarious and I laughed my ass off. But let's not act like everything on SmackDown was good. We got the return of Emma, which is great. Now, unfortunately, she didn't get any crowd reaction. Now is the time, WWE, to pump in those crowd reactions. Click the button, Triple H. Now, obviously, I'm just joking around, but that was kind of unfortunate because she's one of the, women that actually started the women's revolution, Emma and Paige. So what happened during the segment? Is he really gonna be called Sami Uso? What did Bray Wyatt had to say?
And what does the Uncle Howdy want?
All that on Greatness of SmackDown in a second. This video is sponsored by Sheath Underwear. It's the most comfortable thing you'll ever wear. As you guys know, I've been wearing these for a couple of weeks now, and I absolutely love these. It has separate compartments for your Coco Jumbo, your balls, so while wearing Sheath Underwear you will avoid sweat, you'll be cool and comfortable. As a matter of fact, if I saw your underwear right now, I'd probably roast it. Get with the times, let your Coco Jumbo breathe. These underwear are designed for modern day people. Regular underwear were invented when people didn't know any better, and Sheath Underwear puts a stop to this. In all seriousness, it's very comfortable. Just like I've said in my previous video, I'm sitting all day in front of my computer, it can get sweaty, and I've noticed that Sheath Underwear definitely help. And they have a great offer for you. Click the link in the description and use the code TheGreatOne to get 20% off. That's sheathunderwear.com/TheGreatOne. Your buddy will absolutely thank you. Welcome back to another episode of Greatness of SmackDown. How are you guys doing today? Another great episode of SmackDown. Like, if I would have to pick the best wrestling show right now, I think it's SmackDown by far. The show is not too long, we have the variety, the roster is great right now. We have some fresh talent, some established superstars. Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, like, dude, here's the thing. Whichever show has Sami Zayn, that is the A show.
You remember when Uncle Howdy used to give you the best time and tickled you to bed?
The show kicks off with the Brawling Brutes making an entrance with a new theme song. Okay, the theme song suits them, right? It's one of these rare scenarios where a new theme song is actually okay. I don't like it, but I get it. But that's one of the major issues I have with the WWE. They still can't make good music. I mean, have you heard Emma's theme song? It's... something like that. Very unmemorable, generic, and that was actually even better. But then we see the Usos backstage. Zayn asks if he can have a word with Jey Uso. He says it's all hands on deck tonight and their hands need to be raised in victory when Roman Reigns arrives at the arena. Jey agrees and the four men head to the ring. So we got the Brawling Brutes versus the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn were representing the Bloodline tonight. The quality of the match was fine, but that's not what matters right here. It's all about the story. It's all about Sami Zayn's and Jey Uso's relationship. So we see Butch about to jump on Sami Zayn, but it does seem obvious that Sami Zayn has a plan. Well, Jey Uso didn't seem to believe so, so he dragged Sami Zayn out of the ring and then they started arguing. Sami Zayn says, I had this, and Jey Uso doesn't believe him. It's one of these scenarios where they're both right. I mean, Sami did had him, and Jey Uso wanted to help. Maybe. So Sami Zayn gets back into the ring and loses the match. We have a big issue in the Bloodline. Jey Uso starts bullying Sami Zayn until all the other members of the Bloodline kinda turned on Jey. We even saw the face-off between Jey and Jimmy. Honestly, a match that I would love to see. I think we never saw it before, so hopefully in the future we're going to get some drama between Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. And then we see Roman Reigns. The aura in the room absolutely changed. Before Roman Reigns even said a word, everyone in the Bloodline except for Solo are pooping their pants. Do you guys smell that? it's poop. Roman Reigns says, normally, you guys acknowledge me, but right now I need to acknowledge the elephant in the room. He says that if Jay and Zayn are going to act like kids, then he's going to treat them like kids. He says he believes in fighting in the ring and tells them he wants them to air the issues out. And Sami Zayn was the bigger man right here. He says, I know there's been a communication breakdown as of late with Jay, and he says, I don't understand what the beef is. I like you. I don't understand why you're going after me all the time. And honestly, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I apologize. He apologized like 5 times and wanted a handshake. But Jay makes a big mistake, which was actually one of the greatest WWE moments I've seen in a while. The crowd reaction, Look, let's talk about it. Jey Uso snaps, put your hand away, I don't like you, I don't like the way you look, I don't like your hair, I don't like your face. How can you be in the bloodline when you're not even blood? Nobody in the bloodline likes you. I'm just the one who's gonna say it. You know the difference between me and you? I'm family. Sami Zayn snaps. Why are you screaming at me? I'm trying to make peace. That's what the tribal chief wants. I don't give a damn what the tribal chief says. Boom, boy. That's some real shit, my man. Have you seen Roman's face? It seemed like he was sleeping, and then once he heard the line, he was like, the fuck did you just say? What a moment. The crowd reaction. The crowd started chanting, you fucked up. And of course he did. Roman Reigns was about to do something about it, man. You don't say shit like this to Roman Reigns. Even though he was disrespected, Sami Zayn says, look, he didn't mean that, that's not Jey Uso talking. He didn't mean that. And the whole moment was still very serious, right? He's gone through a lot. He didn't mean it. He's just not himself right now. Lately, he just hasn't been Uzi. They looked at Sami Zayn and immediately broke character. Roman Reigns was supposed to be very serious right here, very angry, but the man just couldn't stop smiling. Even Jey Uso was supposed to be scared right here. He couldn't stop laughing. That was absolutely amazing. It seems like they have so much fun working with Sami Zayn. It's kinda crazy how Sami Zayn himself doesn't break character that often. Like, it just feels like he's real, right? Like, I guess you can say he's a good actor. But then Roman Reigns says something that Jey Uso didn't want to hear. If you're gonna act like this, I'm gonna remove the word honorary and I'm gonna make him a real Us. As a matter of fact, if you're gonna act like this, he's gonna be called Sami Uso. And Sami's expressions were absolutely unbelievable. He's very excited. He wants to be the real Uso. What a segment. Paul Heyman says that was a word from the tribal chief. He promotes Crown Jewel. And now let's cut to our sponsors. Bravo. Wow. That was great. That was legit one of the best segments I've ever seen. I don't remember actually legit laughing so much during a wrestling show. To me it's like, I don't like when WWE are trying to do comedy. I feel like it's very forced and most of the time not even funny. It's very childish, right? This was not even supposed to be that funny. It just kinda works. The chemistry is here, Sami Zayn is naturally hilarious, and he doesn't even have a comedy gimmick, he's just naturally funny. But this face is kinda sus. Obviously I understand that Sami Zayn wants to be a real member of the Bloodline. In my heart he is, right? I guess most of us can agree. But the thing is, since Roman said that you're going to be the real Uso if Jay acts like this, I feel like right now Sami Zayn is going to put Jey Uso in situations where Jey Uso has no other choice but to act like a douchebag, meaning that he's doing that because he wants to be Sami Uso. I think that's a big possibility. Then we saw Maximum Male Models versus the New Day. It seems like Maximum Male's model gimmick is gonna end pretty soon because I don't feel like it's entertaining anymore. The New Day obviously won. I feel like Triple H is just not interested in that. Kayla interviewed Sonya Deville. They talked about Ronda's challenge. I know who's not answering that challenge. Liv Morgan, and of course Liv Morgan attacks Sonya Deville. I don't even know why they have so many issues with each other. But as Uncle Howdy would say, she's a bit of a crazy girl. I like how Braun Strowman sounds like an absolute meathead. Which, I get it, he's a big, tall, strong man who likes trains. Occasionally, he just watches a train passing by and says choo-choo with him. That's his hobby. He talked about Omos. They always say there's someone stronger and bigger than you. Bigger? Maybe. Stronger? I don't think so. Have you seen me flipping cars? Flipping ambulance cars and removing doors? Who says that? I can flip cars. I'm a big idiot. Now, in all seriousness, it wasn't that bad. Obviously, I understand why people want to see this match. It got shitloads of views on YouTube. It's one of the most viewed things of professional wrestling right now. You can have a great MJF promo, CM Punk returning, it doesn't matter. Braun Strowman and Omos will take the cake for whatever reason. We see Ronda Rousey, and she has an open challenge. It's Emma, and she got no crowd reaction, which is really unfortunate. So we got the championship match. It was okay, you know, we got some pretty interesting moves from Emma, you know, reminding people who she's all about. So I feel like everything was great right here except for the crowd reaction. Obviously, as you can imagine, Ronda Rousey won the match, retained the championship as expected. It's just kind of unfortunate because we all know she was like, you know, the pioneer of NXT's women's wrestling, or whatever you want to call it. She was one of the biggest names in professional wrestling. Unfortunately, got ruined by Vince McMahon. Then we got the Emelina for like, I don't know, 5 months of build. She showed up once, left, returned as Emma, got released. You know, it sucks, but the biggest issue I have with this, obviously some people are not gonna remember her, right? That's okay, that's fine, you're gonna build her, it's fine. If she's a legit talent right now, I'm not even sure if she signed, right? I hate the theme song. You know, her previous theme song was annoying, it sucked, but it was memorable. This one is just, I don't know, let me play it. Fuck that. It was time for Legado del Fantasma versus Hit Row and a mystery partner. But before the match, we see Shayna Baszler hugging Ronda Rousey. Natalya wants to talk some shit, but got attacked by Shayna Baszler, who turned on Natalya because she loves Ronda more, whatever. Yeah, I honestly want to see Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler, and I believe that's where WWE are going with this. And the mystery partner is Shinsuke Nakamura. That was definitely the worst part of the show. I'm sorry, man, I don't get this shit. I really don't get this. I feel like there's a place for goofiness in wrestling. It can be really good. You know, even if Sami Zayn, for example, would never win a WWE Championship, Intercontinental, you get the idea. If he was just being funny, I appreciate that. He's entertaining, right? We have guys like these. Even in the Attitude Era, I mean, we had people who are never going to win a championship, but they were a big part of the product because they were entertaining to watch. I don't get that from Hit Row. So the match was whatever, you know, I don't have anything bad to say, but this is such filler, man. So yeah, Hit Row and Shinsuke Nakamura won. They didn't need a W as much as the other guys did. We see Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman is stressed out because he wants Roman to watch Logan Paul. So anyway, he shows him a bunch of boxing footage, you know, it only takes one lucky shot, my tribal chief. He only had 2 matches. Roman Reigns doesn't want to listen. Heyman says a doctor who knows my doctor who knows another doctor or whatever, he knows that Logan Paul had an injury and he has a steel plate or whatever in his hand, and you know, he punches people with that, he knocks people out. Roman Reigns doesn't want to listen. He compares Logan Paul to Brock Lesnar and all of that, and Reigns is like, dude, come on. Heyman says, I think it's a time for me to leave. Yes. Okay, let's not build Logan Paul as the biggest threat to Roman Reigns right here. LA Knight got interviewed. Ricochet quickly interrupts. Lala Knight, I'm gonna give you an advice. People would respect you a lot more if you didn't act like you're God's gift to SmackDown. You know what? I am God's gift to SmackDown. Then we see Karrion Kross and Scarlett. He faced Riddick Moss or Madcap Moss. This was not even a short match. It was actually okay. I just don't understand why he needed Scarlett's help to beat Madcap Moss, but he did. Anyway, he beats Moss and he says, Drew McIntyre, if you wanna know, Madcap Moss put on a better fight than you did. He talked about their steel cage match and he promised that history is going to repeat itself. That was okay, I guess. You know, I just don't know how I feel about the entrance. I kinda liked it and I talked about how I love it, but at the same time, it kinda gives me cringe goosebumps, if you know what that means. Yeah, I don't know. Rey Mysterio is very excited about the Intercontinental Championship match. Booyaka. He got attacked by the Imperium. You're excited? Boom! And the actual attack was really hilarious too. I don't know if it was intentionally funny, probably not. My home! but it was funny. And then it was time for Bray Wyatt. He makes his amazing entrance and addresses the WWE Universe, as Michael Cole would say. He asks the fans if they can feel the energy that he does. When the fans cheer, he feels invulnerable. He's no longer hiding behind a mask and says he wants fans to get used to it. It's going to be a different side of Bray Wyatt, the real man behind the character. He has no control over his emotions, and at times, they can send him to a very dark place. Sometimes he feels nothing at all. He says that's part of what makes him unique, and says there's a part of him that likes the fact that he's not afraid to do awful things. He says he knows there will come a time when he's asked to do something horrible. And then we see a masked figure. He's the ghost of the murderer who sold the world. He says Wyatt killed the world and tells him to revel in what he is. He says that he and Wyatt both know he wears the mask, and he introduced himself as Uncle Howdy, the uncle who gets a little too drunk sometimes, gets too much into tickling. I feel like what he's trying to say is that Bray Wyatt is hiding behind a mask, not a literal one, but you know, figuratively. During that segment he said you send him away, and then we cut to the Fiend's mask. So you know, he's just trying to bring back the old Bray Wyatt, the real Bray Wyatt. I feel like it is Bray Wyatt's other persona, you know, he just doesn't have the Fiend anymore, he has a lot more than the Fiend. I believe that's when my impatience kinda shows, which, okay, I understand they need to build this, and I actually agree with that. I wouldn't change it, but at the same time, and maybe that's a good thing, I wanna know the answers. You know, every week watching it over and over again and barely getting any answers, it kinda sucks, but at the same time, maybe that's the idea. Maybe it just leaves us wanting more. I gotta say, man, TikTok ruined us. We have no attention span. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.